What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Christopher Moon channel. Welcome back to the closet, the funnest place to make videos. Alright, and for today's video, you know what I really wanted to talk about? I forgot earlier, but then I remembered I'd like to talk about addiction. So I never remembered the first thing I wanted to, rant about, but I think this is better. I've quit and been addicted to a lot of different substances. And I've always used like this same kind of methodology of like thinking to kind of attack whatever addiction I'm trying to ditch, So, one thing I think is it's kind of like a path, my patterns, your daily routine. What do you religiously do every day that might set you up for a trigger and a failure in trying to quit something, Like I would smoke, and once I first quit smoking, every day religiously I'd wake up, make me that cup of coffee, have me a cigarette, and that's my mornings. That was it. And I know, okay, if I'm gonna try and quit smoking, quit drinking coffee, quit something, I'm gonna have to change that routine that I am so used to doing. Like, I don't even have to think about it. I just wake up and start doing it. That's a pattern. So that's the first thing I try to look for. I try to look for things in my day that are going to cause me to hit that trigger situation to where I'm going to want to have a smoke, drink, whatever it is. And I think the second thing you got to take into account is your mental state with the whole process. Like you need to kind of change your focus and not really be like thinking about how bad it sucks. You just have to know that it does suck. It's gonna suck, and you just think of stuff, or really, for me, I would set like goalposts for the course of the day, just to get through the day, pretty much. But the last thing is the chemical response the body has. Once you start giving your body a little something, it starts liking it, and it's great. But the whole time you're doing that, the chemicals your body naturally produce aren't being produced, and you're just getting instant gratification from whatever substance, So there's the chemical side, and that's the last thing that I take into account. And once I bundle all three of these things together, once they all get bundled together, you need to look at your path, your schedule, your routine of the day. What is it? What's it going to be today that's going to cause me to not be able to get my goal? You got to look at it that way. There's going to be a lot of obstacles in front of you, so you don't reach that goal. Everything in your life is going to be fighting against you, so you don't reach that goal of quitting that substance. But you got to say this to all of that stuff and just go ahead and do it anyway. You got to look at your schedule in the morning. If I don't want to smoke, you know what? For this week, I'm not going to have my coffee. You know what? I'm going to sleep in a little bit longer. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to pound a thing of water and take a walk around the block and see how I feel. Change that routine up a little bit. Do something. Don't want to walk? That sounds kind of crazy. Maybe it's cold. I'm going to get up and, do some sit-ups, do some a jumping jacks. Do something. Do something different. Get up and read. Get up and immediately take a shower. But change your routine if it's going to be something that's going to trigger you into wanting to be taken aback into your addiction. And then next, a mental thing. I was talking about those goalposts. Set a goalpost for the day because it's going to suck. Quitting anything sucks. Set your goalpost. As for me, I do it for like a meal. Like I need to make it to lunch and not have a cigarette. So I'd have to, not take a break with my buddy that always wanted to go smoke. And people don't like that. That's one of those obstacles. People want you to be doing the same stuff they're doing. They want your energies to be so alike that you just look at each other and say, oh, wink, wink, it's 9 o'clock, let's go smoke. That's what they want. They don't want to hear, oh, you don't want to smoke? I got to smoke by myself? I don't have my, this thing anymore? We can't, have that telepathic wink for smoke break time that we both knew? Yeah, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. So, know that that's coming. And once you make it to that first goalpost, you make it to lunch. Okay, you know what? I know I'm going to want to smoke after I eat. I know I normally do this. I do whatever. If you got to change your food up a little bit for, that week. Maybe have the smoothies if you're doing a cleanse. Who knows? It's all up to you. It's all up to you. It's easy. You know what to do. You know exactly what to do. I'm going to leave it in your hands. But the best goalpost, the final, and maybe the only one you need, the only one I really needed, was bedtime. I needed to know I was going to get to bed and be able to just pass out, sleep it off, sweat it out during the night. Just let me be in bed away from everybody, away from everything that's going to cause me to want to do this addiction. And that was always the best. And then the next day I'd wake up and I'd be like, whoo, and you're not thinking about addiction right away once you wake up. You're feeling, whatever, morning time feelings, fine. And then it's a little different. You got a day under your belt where you didn't have before. Even if you have an hour under your belt of not, giving into the addiction. Excuse me. But a day is a big deal. A couple hours isn't that big of a deal. But it is for some. And, that's another mental thing that I do. Don't beat yourself up if you slip and fall. Don't beat yourself up if, you get talked into having a whatever. Because it happens. We're all human. We're all fallible. Does it suck? Yes. Is it a big deal? If you're on, day 50 or something, then I'd say it kind of would be. But, nah, it's not. You're allowed to mess up. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. But it's not the end of the world. You just start over. You just start with that goalpost. And I think sometimes you resent and hate, the fact that you even let yourself get to that point. That might either strengthen your resolve to quit, or you might just want to throw in the towel. Screw it. I'm going to just smoke more because that's easier. I like things easy. Yeah, it's not easy to not have that cigarette. It's very hard. But that's another thing you could do. If you're getting to that point, you want to take the easy road. You can always take 5 to 10 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds right before you do it. And so, let me put this down. Take a couple deep breaths and just think, do I really want to have this cigarette? Do I really need it? And normally once I do that, like, I'm done. I'm like, what am I doing? It's stupid. Yeah, I don't want that. And then you walk off. That's a victory. That's a victory right there. You just won. You got to keep on fighting though. So keep moving down the road and do that again when something else comes. Even like, these young dudes, addiction can be anything. People get addicted to looking at certain images on the internet and doing certain things to areas of themselves because people get addicted to that. I think that's like one of the main addictions and kind of why dating and everything's messed up right now. But those dudes that want to quit that, they can quit that. Like, anytime they're looking at something, whenever, like, if that's something they don't want to do, if they don't want to give up that energy, don't want to give up that time for that, they're done with it, they can do the same thing. And whatever the addiction is, before you pick it up, whatever it is, if you just take a couple of seconds, take a couple of breaths, you might not want to do that at the end of those seconds. You might be like, hey, screw that victory. I'm going to go work on something else. And, man, the last one, that physical effects. Now, depending on what it is, like really depending on whatever you're getting off of, you're looking at between 3 to 7 days of being uncomfortable. If it's like real hard narcotics and stuff, or alcohol, and you get like the DTs and you've been on it for a long time, it might be a little bit longer. Like, I think for me, the worst one with the Suboxone was about 2-3 weeks, I would say. Like, I just felt shitty and miserable and weird and gross. But it's a fight, it's a fight every day. And I just look back and think, like, I don't want to be a prisoner to checking in with this doctor, every month, and then going to this special clinic to pee or something to make sure, like, I wasn't even like in trouble for anything. They needed me to, like, because I was taking it, they required, the state I live in requires that I take a urinalysis test randomly as well too, like a criminal. So I didn't like that either. I wasn't in trouble for anything. I asked for help, and the help they gave me was to give me this crazy substance and, kind of criminalize me, where I'd have to randomly pee for them, and then every month I'd have to go pay a pretty penny for the actual product itself, the Suboxone. And some clinics it's super cheap, and I was getting it from, I think, Walgreens or something, and it was pretty expensive. I think mine, after my copay and whatever insurance stuff, was like around $50-$60, and another times I paid like $200. Like, it was just weird. It was all over the place, and I hated that. I hated that I couldn't even leave the state for a month without freaking out and worrying about that crap. But back to how to get rid of the physical elements for me. For the little stuff like cigarettes, alcohol, whatever. If you're trying to quit a habit you don't like, an addiction you don't like, I'd say the best thing that I did, to get that chemical change in my system rerouted, to get it moving, going, whatever it was that mental thing of always getting to bed and sleeping as much as I could. Man, I rest is so important once you're going through this. Water. Like, get some good water. That spring water, some structured water, whatever you got. If it's from the tap, I hope you got a filter or something. I don't know, but get some good water and just drink a lot, because that with nothing in the water, it's going to go straight into your system. It doesn't have to be, going filtered through any of the digestion as much. It just goes right where it's needed, and we're all water, so it's needed everywhere. It also helps your body cool. It's like air conditioning as well. So once you drink a lot of water, if you're like sweating something out, just freaking out, you're sweating out toxins and nasty stuff, and two, like, you want to have a lot of water so it's not just like reeking, keep as flushed out as possible. But yeah, sleep, drink, and the last thing, if you can, like, a lot of times it's too painful to do anything, but a little bit of exercise, fresh air. If you can just get out and do like a little hobble of a walk around the block, or a couple push-ups, some sit-ups, whatever. Stuff like that changes your chemistry too, and it helps it push out the toxins faster. So yeah, that's about all I did with all of the different times I was coming off or trying to quit a substance. It's pretty the mindset I was in. And the mindset is also important. Let me backtrack. I'm sorry. The mindset, your mindset, is to be positive. Just be positive all the time. Like, does it suck? Is it going to suck? Yeah, don't focus on that. Don't focus on how much you want anything, how much, how nice, what good of a time. And also you can't romanticize the substance or whatever it is. Like, you can't think about it like, oh, I used to have so much fun doing that. I used to love smoke, and I used to love this. Maybe someday in the future. Because if you ever have that, maybe someday I can mess with it again, you're screwed. You can't mess with it again. You shouldn't. But that's it. Those are my tips. So what do you think? Because those are the tips that help me. But I know you got this. You're looking at 3 to 7 days of being uncomfortable, making it to bed, making the next day, maybe changing your routine, do some jumping jacks in the morning, like whatever you're doing, you know what to do. You know what's going to be best for you. And, hopefully a tip or two would help, but you can get through this. Tips or not. Listening to everything out there. Like that stuff, we all think it's helpful. But deep down, really, I know that we all have the power to do anything we want. With ourselves, If you want to quit something, you just decide you want to quit it, and you're going to do it. And I know you're going to do it. Once I decide, Chris, I'm sick of this, we're going to do something different, I know this guy right here is going to get it right. I know he ain't going to be happy. But you know what? He was happy on the front end of it. Now he's got to put up with the coming out of the back end of it. And that's not the happy end. But it's the growth end. It's the good end. It's the end where you heal, you decide, and you move forward with whatever you want. And with that, I'm going to move forward with a little breakfast. So I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day.